Hello, checking in with chapters 8 to 20 of The Butterfly Lampshade by Amy Bender. Um, yes, so we are continuing the story of a girl, an 8-year-old girl, and then a young woman who ends up going to live with her aunt and uncle and their newly born infant child, who then within the process of the novel has grown up to someone who's graduating from high school and going on to college at this point, um, because her mother has a mental breakdown. One of what sounds like many. Smashes her hand with a hammer. She ends up going across country in the kind of the moment between the transfer between her mother and her aunt and uncle. She stays with a babysitter, kind of a young woman who she finds a butterfly underneath a butterfly covered lampshade, and she drinks it. And she's got this memory. She's got the memory of a scarab beetle. Is it a scarab beetle? She's got the memory of this desiccated rose. It's all very vivid memories of this moment in this kind of transfer, which seems to be kind of talismanic of this, what must have been a huge rupture for a child of living with your mother, kind of coping with your mother, to a new life with her aunt and uncle. And she is an interesting child. She's eccentric. She's not of the norm. She's someone who stays very still, someone who's got very kind of particular things. I mean, even as a child, it's like she doesn't want to fly because she's afraid of blurring. She doesn't want her life to blur, her hands to blur. She gets over this. That's more of a childhood thing. But she's definitely someone who seems to want to stay apart from others. She's quite happy when she can quit her framing job now as an adult, because she figures, okay, I can make enough money selling things online. She basically buys old things, kind of packages them up, and just sells them online. She has a little online store, and she's able to make enough money from that. And she kind of likes that. She can do that. She doesn't like her framing job because she then goes to all these kind of flea market sales and everything like that, and she just finds all of these framed things, just stacked there. There's things that people framed and then just forgot about, I guess, is her thought. Including a beetle that this woman brings in. Actually, that might be the Egyptian scarab beetle, which, she gets framed, packaged, wrapped, and it's like, okay, it's something that's off the list, it's framed, so now she can forget about it, is the thought. Yeah. Um, and she gets help from Vicky, her cousin or sister, kind of both, who she's helping with her college entry essay, which is an essay about her and about how it became her job to lock Francie into her room at night. And it's interesting because within this, like living in this apartment with this couple who owns the place downstairs, there's just a tossaway line that's like, oh, he's locking her in now, and he unlocks her in the morning. So she's still got that. She's got some interestingly eccentric things, that are very matter of fact because it's from her point of view. I think about her. There's a little bit of a connection here with the Glass Hotel and the main character, the young woman in that, and that she likes to film. Is it 5 minute, exactly 5 minute bits of video of just of various things, of waves, of a bit of trash blowing down the street. Very kind of regimented, kind of artistic. I don't know how I'd put it. Detached, a little bit clinical. I do wonder if this is supposed to be a bit of a representation of someone who's neuroatypical, someone who is maybe on the autistic scale, or someone who's. I mean, it sounds like she was this way with her mother before stuff happened. I mean, she's always had to be kind of fend for herself and things like that. So, and there's a certain kind of detachment, certain kind of wariness of having relationships. Like, she's not going to have a romantic relationship, she's saying, at least at this point. Like, she notices a guy who bags her groceries and, like, how he smiles, how he talks to her. And she thinks, like, well, present self not interested. Maybe a future self might be, but not right now. So there's a certain way she's able to hold herself back. And so she's quit her job at the end of part one here. She's quit her job. She's just going to do online stuff. She's made this strange kind of little pup tent or something like that, on her balcony as some place to go in to be able to better process her memories, because she has incredibly detailed memories of this juncture point from when she was 8 and she was leaving her mother and she was going to her aunt and uncle. Yeah. So it's an interesting book. I mean, unlike the Glass Hotel did have kind of a wider thing of the giant Bernie Madoff kind of Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff, who just died in prison just recently now. He hadn't gotten very far into his 150-year sentence, but I guess that's it. But it was attached to a larger realm, whereas this so far is very much very small, very particular. I think the voice of the narrator so far has prevented it from getting precious at all, getting kind of like, ooh, I'm being eccentric for the punters here kind of feel that you sometimes get from stories like this. I think you have to be really delicate with stuff like that, or else it's just seen as kind of exploiting quirky mental illness or quirky mental difference, which is pretty gross. So far so good. Yeah. All right, I will leave it there with The Bttrfly Lampshade by Amy Bender. More videos later.